Good morning. Welcome back to Casa TexPina. We're on build day number 63. It's a beautiful, almost cloudless day. As we look around. Guys are on site early this morning getting started. Some of the first things they're working on is the end cap for the dormer window. That's where the dormer is going to come off of the attic. So they got to put the end between the two beams, some more rebar, another beam similar to what they have here for the cantilevers, and then they'll put the subfloor similar to what they have here with the rebar mesh over the top of that. They're working on that today. Continuing to look around the rest of the house. You can see they're starting on the plaster work, the plaster coating in the master bath, as well as doing some cornering in the master closet, that window. Also working on the cornering in the master bedroom for the large window there. We got some more gentlemen up here working the rebar, making sure all the wire ties are done and everything's tight. Make sure the forms don't blow out whenever we start getting ready to put the concrete in. We are supposed to have plumbers on site today for the first time, and they'll be going to look over where all the drain pipes are going to be started. That's probably going to be their first bet. I believe this is okay. And down here, these are our two of our steel men, as well as further down below them you see the foreman going over with the welder foreman how the roof trusses are supposed to start working. So they're going over the plans, making sure everything looks right before they start cutting. All right, so that's pretty much a wrap up how things are going up here this morning. Let's let these guys get started, and we'll check back in later. Our guys up on top are putting in the rebar for the beam that's going to connect the two cantilever beams. They've already got the bars pre-formed. They're hanging here off of the scaffolding. They'll pull them up when they need them. So they're just putting them into place, and then they'll go back and tie everything together once they get it into place. Next to him, they're still working the cornering on the windows. We'll go walk around the other side of the house here in a second and show what's going on inside the master bath. All right, let's go take a look inside the master suite. Still working on the cornering. That's what it's looking like when it's completed. So that's what those look like, and they're doing those to all the windows, so they're just working their way around. Hey. gonna start plastering in here?
Yes, sir.
Ah. Make measurements, make sure we don't get it too thick, not too thin. How's the Goldilocks say? Just right. Alright. Come take a look down the other side of the house. Our plumbers are starting to dig in the where the sewer lines are going to go. So they're going to trench that through into the hallway half bath and then upstairs for the half bath upstairs as well. All right, we'll come back and check on these guys later. One of my laborers here, Mr. Pablo, is putting in filler material at the bottom of the forms. Make sure that we don't have a whole lot of holes, no leaks when they go to pour the concrete through the forms. So it should all stay upstairs, none downstairs. So they're filling that with wet cardboard just to fill the hole. And then when they get done with pouring the concrete, all that will come off with the rest of the forms. All right, we're gonna do a little look around following lunch, see where everybody's at. So this morning the plumbers came in. First thing they did was the downspouts from the half bath up in the attic. So we got the toilet. This is for the sink. What's that third one? Here in the Philippines they do a lot of floor drains. So their flooring for the wet spaces is actually recessed quite a bit, usually about 2 inches. That allows, in case you have a water break up here, everything is sloped towards that floor drain and it drains down. So you don't have to worry about the water spilling out into the rest of your house. It immediately goes down the floor drain and gets vacated. Good idea. I'm surprised we don't do it in the States very often. And speaking of the plumbers, they're over here in bedroom 3 they're still trenching the sewer drains. Right now what they're doing is cutting through the foundation wall to put the sewer pipe, the 4-inch, going through the bottom, through the wall. So it goes out and they're going to send it to the outside so that it can then work its way to the septic tank that's going to be on the back of the house. All right, let's look what else they've done up here. A couple of the laborers came by this morning and they started putting in the rebar extensions. These are going to be the uprights where they're going to place the CMU block for the walls. Okay, those look good. They go pretty much all the way around. Where you see the conduit stub ups, the orange conduit, that's going to be for the electrical. That'll have all the wires for the stub ups. Now the other thing that was done this morning, they ended up taking off the forms that were on the dormer window cantilever beams, and they had to put in the connecting cross member at the end. So they got that done this morning. The next step is they're gonna build the form for the inside, those two insides, and then they're gonna come back and build the rest of it same as they have here. So they're gonna put the plywood sheeting across the bottom and then put the welded, well, it's not welded wire, it's basically just framework with the rebar. So they're using number 10 rebar across as a as a wire mesh. What in the States we would use a wire mesh for the floor. So that's looking good there. Now over here in the master suite, in several rooms, they are starting what they call a plaster coat. So remember how I was in the earlier parts, we did a very rough build with the CMU block, or the concrete hollow block, and you notice it's got a lot of gaps in the mortar. They're going to go back now and they fill it in with the mortar, and it's basically a big plaster coat over the top of it, so it'll have a smooth finish and all the holes are filled in. They do this for all the walls on the interior and exterior of the building. Now what they're also doing is going by the windows and doing the cornering, which I showed you guys yesterday, and the finished product earlier this morning. So you can sit here and watch Mr. Jericho here. Kind of hard to see from this side. What they're doing, he'll load his trowel with the mortar. He'll take that trowel, come from the bottom up, squeeze it onto the wall, and then go back with the trowel in his hand, the triangle trowel, and smooth it over. The finished product looks like what you see here above Mr. Ben. Again, this is still just a rough finish. Most of the house, they will come back with a having a brain cramp. They come back with another coat of it's a paint coat that they have. It's a skim coat. There you go. Sorry, brain fart. They come back with a skim coat and put over the top of that and smooth it out yet again, and then it's prepped for paint. So they'll do that, or in this case, they'll leave it like this, and the next step is going to put tile adhesive and start building tiles on top. All right, that's pretty much most of the folks around the site this morning, or this afternoon. We're after lunch now, so we're working, moving along pretty well. All right, in the front of the house, still working on some of the cornering for the windows, and they'll continue this around. You can see they've already completed the one on the master's closet, and then this one he's working on finishing it up, and then they will continue the rest of the way around, probably tomorrow and next week. All right, let's go ahead and take a look into the master suite, see where the guys are at back there. They were doing some plaster coating. You can see here on the back wall they got started. Here they're wrapping up. They've done some plaster coating back here. Oh, hey, Elaine. Finished. Nice finish work. Do here. Now this side is going to be more finished than what you're going to see in the main bathroom, because this will be the finish. All they'll do is put a skim coat over it and paint it. Whereas when we go back out here to the master bath, this is going to be left rough because they're going to use this to attach the tile adhesive, so it has something to grab onto. So take a look at the way they do this here. Take a little plop, splat it on the wall, flatten it out. Now they're all going to get bashful on me. So take some, put it on them. They're giving him a hard time because I'm doing the video and he's getting videoed. So splat a plap on there, thin it out. Looking good. Coming back down the hallway. Earlier we saw the plumbers working the drain line. They've already covered up the 4-inch drain that was done through here. So we got the main 4-inch that's going to come from across the half bath, upstairs and down. Come across the hallway. Come under here. It's going to have a tie-in right here for the lavatory, and then the other tie-ins for the bath are going to be shown right here. Okay, so the drains we have here are, this is the sink. Oh, sorry, not the sink. This is the shower. This is the bath. Oh, dang, I'm all twisted today. This is the shower. This is going to be the water closet, or the toilet as we call it. And this is a small floor drain with P-traps. Notice it's got P-traps. So none of that funky smell in your bathroom. And then they've got the other end of the pipe going into the lavatory for bedroom number 2. And they'll start working on that tomorrow. Got the chips out of the wall where they're going to place in the supply lines, as well as part of the drain for that sink. All right, so that's where we're looking at so far. Let's go look behind the building and see what those guys. Right. In the back of the house, guys are still bending rebar. This rebar is going to be used for the wire mesh. Well, not wire mesh, the rebar mesh that's going to make up the floor, where you see the gentleman up there. He's putting those into place. So they do about every 4 to 6 inches. Nice hatch pattern, mesh pattern with number 10 rebar. Sorry, 10 millimeter rebar. That's equivalent to a number 3 rebar in the States. And he's got that all braced underneath, so it won't need the floor jacks in the middle, only around the edges to hold up the beam. A lot of work done getting this finished today. Looking good, guys. All right, it's almost yabba dabba do time. The guys are starting to wrap up and put tools away here about in the next 5-10 minutes. We got a lot accomplished today. We had the plumbers make their first appearance and did quite a bit. You noticed, as I showed you earlier, they put in the stub ups for the attic floor bathroom, as well as starting in the guest bath, or the bedroom number 2, bedroom number 3 bath area. So they started with that, In the master suite, the masons are starting the plaster coat on the walls, and their apprentices are continuing with the cornering on the windows. So it's all starting to come together, starting to look really good. Great week so far, getting back to work. Speaking of which, we got word last night from the Philippine president that this area of the Philippines will be entering into a less restrictive community quarantine. For the most part, it will be business as usual as it has been, with the exception of a little less restrictions being able to go out and about. But the number of people going out is still considerably less than normal. We're going to beat this thing. We'll get back to a normal style life here shortly. I have faith in that. So until that happens, keep watching the show. We've got lots of construction going on. If you like today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. Comment below. I welcome the comments. Tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what I need to improve on, and any questions you may have. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button or the Casa TexPina star right over here, and you'll be able to see that. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen, and you'll be notified when our next video is uploaded for your viewing pleasure. Until then, have a great day, and God bless. Thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon to be notified when our next video becomes available.